everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you are here, and I hope this video finds you doing well. So today we are going to get right on into it, and we are going to do some discussional conversation, if you will, in regards to moving forward, and more importantly, when we know it's time to do so. You know, moving forward is not always an easy concept. It's not always something that we are always so readily excited to do either, depending on what the situation is that we're actually moving forward from. You know, I just think that when we look at what are the things that we need to consider when it comes time for that proverbial moment of when we need to make a decision that may take us off course from what we're currently on, I think that the things that we need to be considering is, one, is it serving you well? Two, is it allowing you to rise to the occasion of whatever it is of the greatest potential that you have? You know, those are two very important aspects, I think, when it comes to moving forward. Another aspect I think is also important is, have you set aside the type of resources that you need in order to take that leap of faith, so to speak? And that can come in many forms. It can come from, obviously, an increase in your skills and abilities as far as your set of abilities are. It can come in form of monetary resources, if that's what's necessary. It can come from having certain people in place in your life that are ones that are great for sounding boards or mentors that can help you in navigating yourself through the different obstacles maybe, or just different elements in looking at what it is for you to move forward. You know, I think sometimes it could be maybe easier in positions to move forward from than it can be in relationships. But nevertheless, I think that the critical elements of understanding what serves you best, what allows you to be your best self, what rises you to the occasion of your potential, what allows you to feel good inside about yourself and what you're doing are important no matter what kind of scenario this situation needs to fit into, you know? And again, moving forward is not always the easiest thing to do, but it is sometimes very necessary to do. And we have to get comfortable with ourselves and get comfortable with knowing innately what is important to us. Because the bottom line is, if you are not in tune with yourself and your feelings and, you know, the authentic self, you are going to probably find yourself in positions where you tend to be stuck. And don't get me wrong, I know there's many times where you may find yourself in a position where there's certain jobs you have to take for certain things, or there's just certain obligations you have to complete. And it might not be the best of the best situation, but they serve a purpose now. And that's okay, because many of us go through life in that same beat. The thing is, when it is time to say goodbye to something, you need to be in tune with when that time comes for you. And making sure that you're not working against your best interests, and moving forward in a way that allows you to get yourself into a better, a higher place than where you were prior. Now, of course, I am all about the stack ups or the blocks that kind of form us to get us to where we are, right? Our different experiences, our different situations that we may have had to address or really just bring to fruition for someone or for ourselves. You know, these are things that really make us who we are, and they really do allow us to shine in so many ways, and at the same time also helps to build confidence, right? Because I think that when you are moving forward, a good trait to have is confidence. It's probably a necessary trait, I would say, to make sure that you are able to put yourself in a position to make those steps forward. You know, it can be really scary at times, and believe me, I'm telling you that for me, I have been in more positions, I think, than I would like to admit, that where I really had to take stock of what was going on and knew that I need to move forward from that situation, and whatever that may be, right? And it's okay. You know, I really do feel that you should really zone in on not overstaying your welcome, so to speak. And that doesn't have to be because of another individual. That could still be because of your growth, your determination, and things you want to do in life. You know, we only have one life, and I think that you need to make it count for something. And whatever that is that brings your best self to the world, I think is a goal that, you know, we all should try to strive for in some facet. I'm not saying that everybody's here to save the world. Look, we all can't be that, right? I think it's great for you to strive for it, but we're not looking for you to be the next inventor of something, right? Maybe just the next and creating the next invention for your life to make it better, in order for you to be able to feel better in the moves that you make through your day-to-day choices. So, you know, it's just really important, I think, to really ascertain what is important to you, in order to know when it is time to take a step forward into the unknown, so to speak, for the betterment of yourself, right? And the betterment of those around you, because a happy person becomes happier for everyone else as well. And who doesn't love to be around that kind of energy? I mean, I know I do. I absolutely love it. I mean, it just makes you feel good, and it makes you feel like you take on the world in a good way. So, yeah, you know, it's just one of those things that, although moving forward can be very scary at times, it can be exhilarating at the same time, you know. The newness of something, the feeling of accomplishment from what you left, and the feeling of knowing that I can take on whatever this next step is in my life and feel so good about it. And, you know, it really is truly, I think, a goal of wanting to have a life well lived. And, you know, we really can't do that sitting in a space that is not promoting for us, you know. And there's so many ways that you can have a particular encounter that is promoting for you, and it doesn't always reside in a job or a position. It could be maybe in types of groups that you are in, and types of projects that you may be working on as well, or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, really. It's just good to know when it's time to move to that next step. And sometimes things will kind of lay itself out for you right away, and some things don't. You just have to kind of know when, all right, I think it's time to do the next thing. I think I'm ready for that, you know. And I think working on different aspects that allow you to boost your confidence is great, you know. And however and whatever form that comes in, I think you should embrace that. I think that trying to work in ways that allow you to be your best self is really such key to a form of happiness in life, you know. Happiness is not something that is just given to us, right? We do have to work at that. And I think putting yourself in positioning in your mindset of knowing when it's time to take a step forward really does help that in such a great way. And, you know, you start doing little things at a time, and before you know it, you're in a space that you may not even recognize, but it would be a space that you are so elated to be in, and you just seem to, I don't know, feel like you can move mountains, right? And you're just your best self. And I think that that is so important to find what that is for you, right? And, you know, look, it's a journey, you know, and you need to embrace that. There is no quick pill to happiness, right? If there was, I would have already had it by now. I think many of you probably would agree with that. If you do, give me a yes down below. You know, I would be the first one up there to take that pill. But, you know, happiness is a journey, and it is also relative, right? Because what one thing makes one person happy may not necessarily be such an importance to somebody else. So, you know, really being in tune with yourself and your feelings, and what you know will make you smile and shine every day. I think that those are the things that you should be really working into that. Now, if you are in a situation, i.e., since, like, we'll say a job, because that's probably one that's really easy go-to when it comes to that, that maybe is not your ultimate dream job, maybe try to find ways to make it that way for yourself. And, you know, maybe your approach to things can be adjusted or modified if need be. You know, whatever it is, find that element for yourself, And then, yeah, work in that. And that's extremely helpful in situations where you know that you're looking for a true career shift and change, but can't quite make that leap just yet. Well, doing what you can within the space that you're in to make it a little bit easier as you work on that side goal, if you will, that becomes your primary goal. It just makes it a lot easier for you to go through that journey. So, yeah, you know, taking some stock in that I think is so important. And, you know, quite frankly, it's just a real huge help to you. You know, it might make the days as you wait to that, you know, job that you really want or that career shift that you're really looking for, it just makes those days getting there a little bit easier to get there, you know. And, you know, as far as relationships are concerned, you know, it's the same thing. You know, if things are not serving you well, if you're not feeling that the situation that you are in is bringing the best out of you, then it's time for you to find another situation that does just that. But it does start with loving and caring for yourself and knowing that you are a priority, that you are important, and that you are worth it because you are. And that's just the way that is. So I think when you are able to find that for yourself, it will make it easier for you to, you know, go ahead and make that step forward as what should need to be done. You know, it does not help to be with those or around those who do not bring the best out of you, because if they don't, then that's not a place you should be comfortable in being in. So, you know, just a little food for thought, right? So yeah, I'm so excited about this topic, you know, because I think, I'm all about anything that gets me to move to the next step, you know, and one that I feel that I have a say in, right? You know, one thing that I have never been comfortable with is feeling that life would just be taking me to places. I really like to feel like I have a little bit of control in what places I'm going, you know. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand there are times where you may not have the full keys to the car, so to speak, when it comes to certain situations, and that's fine. But what you do have is the ability to look at those situations and make decisions within those situations that makes it a little bit easier for you to get through whatever that element is, and hopefully that will be temporary for you, or you start looking at steps to make it temporary for you. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just, I just love moving forward. Moving forward is great, you know, because staying backwards, there's nothing back there for you. You know, once you have elevated to a certain level in whatever space that you were in, you just keep moving forward and keep looking ahead. And I think that you will find new, more rejuvenating ways to do that as you take those steps forward, you know. But definitely looking at things that, how does the situation serve you? Is it bringing you to a place that makes you feel good about yourself? Is it allowing you to rise to your greatest potential? If those things are not part of the formula, then it's time to start looking for a new formula. So, yes, and obviously another one is that those things, and doing that allows you to build confidence in order to take those next steps. You know, I always say inspiration is such a undercurrent for that concept, because it is that spark that gets you to move forward. And sometimes the steps ahead are easy and sometimes they're not, but you will figure it out. You will find a way. And I think that if you start in that small space and start building out from that, it will be much easier than you think that it is. You know, but just start making your plans and start looking at how you can move to the next step. And no, does that mean your plan has to be laid out 100% all the way through? Sometimes you may have to only go with 60% of that plan. I don't know. It just depends on what you're doing, right? But look at what you need as necessary, and if there's certain obstacles that you have to that you're going to encounter or have to go through, then start looking at how you can navigate around that. You know, I'm one that says either find a way to go above them, under them, around them, or sometimes you may just go right through them. But get through that obstacle, get to that other side, and keep moving forward. Well, everybody, I do hope that you enjoyed today's video. I do hope that you'll find some sense of helpfulness in the video. And I just, again, enjoyed the time with you, and I'm so glad that you popped in and shared a little bit of your day with me. So, yeah, I think with that, that about wraps up today's video. I do hope you have a great rest of your day or evening, whatever time you are listening, watching and listening to, because I really like this song. But watching this video, I just hope that things are working out for your good. And if you don't think they are, start figuring out ways to make that be the case. Okay? And yeah, I guess with that, I will bid you adieu. Take care of yourself, be safe, and I will see you next time. Bye.